Hello everyone and welcome to Games, Comics and Crafts. In this video I'll be looking at Transformers issue 4. Okay, so finally get around to Transformers issue 4. I was going to do this with issue 5 because this one got pushed back, then Transformers issue 5 got pushed back. So I decided now, rather than wait, we'll get this out of the way and then when issue 5 arrives we can actually figure out what's going on. So, Starscream got beat up by Prime last issue and he's left behind by, Starscream, Skywarp got beaten up by Prime last issue. He's left behind by Starscream. Um, Spike has been injured by the crossfire, and they basically get into the Prime and drive off. I mean, just the artwork is so nice in this. Just the effect of that lurching over the road, pretty cool. Anyway, Cliffjumper shows up with Spike's friend in it, and basically knocks over Starscream. Again, Cliffjumper seems too big in vehicle form compared to how small he is in human form, and he even looks slightly bigger here. Because I mean, look at him. There is virtually twice the size of these people, if not bigger. And in the bit previously, when he was inside the bar of that door, he was literally the size of the door frame. Anyway, Prime takes him to the hospital. There's a bit of a fight between Soundwave as well. And Rumble and Frenzy pop up. Rumble smashes the head of Cliffjumper. Soundwave puts a big boot in to Prime, and Starscream basically realizes that there's a place full of weak humans in here, and he's going to destroy the hospital just purely for the sake of killing everybody in there. Jazz is brought in. Jazz has got some actual, and the last remaining bits of Energon that is in the system of the robots. Got a kind of cool shotgun thing. He managed to pop a couple of people. We have more wrestling maneuvers by Jazz. Jazz was always my favourite. I love Jazz. And they bugger off. They've had enough. They leave, and the hospital is without power because it's been knackered. Prime then decides to basically open up the Matrix, use some of his own energy to fire up the generators, even though they kind of tell him not to. The Decepticons return back to the base, and they basically realise that they've got no spare parts that they can repair themselves with. So they decide to rip Skywarp apart to use his parts to repair themselves. So Skywarp's out at the moment. This is really cool as well. This little guy here shows up and basically says, "Oh, so you transfer into a truck, dear? Can you do it?" And he goes, "Yeah, cool. Oh, that's so cool." And then, "Oh my god, you can transform back again." That's really cool. Um, anyway, there's a bit of an explanation which says about getting the Energon runs out for Jazz. That they're trying to get the thing up and running again as well. Starscream, sorry, Cliffjumper and the friend have a bit of a chat about family, and because obviously her father's dead now, and he explains about the clans and all this kind of stuff as well. And Prime gets a bit of a makeover because his arm's removed, and it's Megatron's cannon arm, which is really cool. Lots of bad guys getting ripped apart because of Starscream trying to knacker these things up. We see an iceberg going in as well, and this iceberg apparently has the remains of Megatron in it. So presumably somewhere along the line, Megatron fell out of the Ark and was put into ice, like Captain America. And he's going to be found by Cobra Commander, unless I'm very much mistaken, because unless I'm very much mistaken, there is an issue of Cobra Commander with Megatron on the front cover. That could just be the way it goes. But yeah, another good issue. We've got issue 5 coming. I say issue 5 is next week. Issue 6, I think, is the last Daniel Warren Johnson issue. So we'll see what happens after that. I still think they're going to stop and have hiatus for a couple of months between 6 and 7. We've seen a cover now for issue 8 or 9 of Void Rivals, but which is interesting because obviously that restarts at 7, so we've obviously got a couple of issues there. And I thought 7 will the cover for 8 and 9 seems to be what I thought would happen in 7. But all in all, again, Transformers Universe, Energon Universe stuff seems to be really, really good. I'm really enjoying it. I'd love to know what's going to happen with Cobra Commander, and I really want to know how this is going to kind of integrate with all of the G.I. Joe stuff when it arrives as well. I just really hope that whoever they get to take over this series doesn't stumble and we end up with some bad choices. I quite like the idea of having a kind of a small cast of robots. Again, Wheeljack on the front cover is weird because Wheeljack is not functional. We've still not seen RC or a couple of the others that were in the original lineup. So as far as I know, she's not even in the arc. We've not seen anything of her at all. Not even seen a body parts, whatever. So maybe she's going to come from Cybertron after send a signal and turn up and help out. And obviously that's where we saw kind of Shockwave in the Void Rivals issue. So it's entirely possible. But again, even the Void Rival stuff, we don't even know how that plays up timeline wise with Transformers. All we know is that Jetfire in Void Rivals took off and arrived in Transformers, but how long it took to get there, who knows? Anyway, all in all, great stuff. Keep going. Definitely looking forward to the next two issues until we get the change, and fingers crossed we get a very cool person to carry on with that. So hopefully you are enjoying this as much as I am, and I will see you on the next video. Bye bye.